So today I'm going to do a lesson on what has been my bread and butter for the last kind of 3, 4, 5 years, and it's going to be the low hand top roll in the straps. Okay, so I know that you've been predominantly a back pressure arm wrestler. Mm-hmm. You like to go outside, but you'd like to pull inside as well, which is good. You got a good foundation. So the low hand top roll, let me tell you a couple of things what not to do in what I would describe as an effective top roll. A lot of people, when they top roll, predominantly go with the high posting and what I would call twisting. So they post and they twist, and all of the pressure is on the outside of the hand, and they have very little pressure in the bottom of their hand, and subsequently can't engage any real lat or rear delt. They're all on their bicep and they're all on their wrist. So when you're just in a posting style top roll, especially in the straps, it doesn't take much to beat a posting style top roll. All it takes is a sufficient cup, and then someone can use their lats. So if someone's just posting, very easily beaten by someone with lats. So the way to effectively top roll is to take a deep grip. A lot of people take a shallow grip, as we mentioned last video about that insurance policy. Well, once you're in the straps, there is no insurance policy anymore. You're in the straps. So you want to set up in the straps for every possible leverage advantage. Now, keep in mind that the strap will lock you in to whatever position you give it. So there's a couple of essentials for the low hand top roll that you need to think about when you're being locked in by the straps. First thing is pronation. Pronation is probably the most critical thing in a top roll. If you get turned palm up, you're not connected to your shoulder anymore. Whilst your palm is facing sideways or down, you can still be inside your shoulder. You're gonna be a lot stronger. So you have to look at the way your pronation is actively moving. So if I pronate fully, my hand and palm is directly down towards the table. Clearly, if I come to the table like that, the ref's going to not allow it. So I'm going to have to do that, which means that the strap's not going to lock me into my pronation. So we want to have our wrist and our pronation fully in that position, and then get our body into a position that allows our pronation to still be locked. Because when this strap goes on, it is going to lock us into that fully pronated position, which makes your top roll like so much stronger, your low hand top roll. So the other thing is you also want to get as deep a cup as you can. Now this one's a little bit of an optical illusion. It'll look good for the camera because the camera's in the position of a down ref for me. Yep. So when I am in this position here, now that'd be interesting to see on the camera whether this looks like my wrist is straight or not. But to the down ref from this position, looks pretty good. Reality is that's where my wrist is. Again, when I come down here, looks pretty straight to the down ref. Yeah. Doesn't look too bad, but in reality, once again, that's what I'm getting strapped into. So, posting style top roll doesn't allow you to do that. This top roll loads your pronation, and you get some cup in there. Now, when we're strapping, we want the deepest possible. We want to be past and up. So, get as much webbing height as you can. There's always going to be millimeters. Like the referees are going to set our webbing as that strap's being applied. You want to be just taking a couple of millimeters here and there. Push someone down with your thumb just before the tighten. There's a million different things you can do. Some people say it's cheating. Other people say the match has already started. So it's game on. In my opinion, as soon as you walk to the table, match is on. So you take everything. Alright, so I am going to load my pronation. I'm going to be nice and deep, so my cup's going to be huge. Okay, strap's going to go on. And you want tight strap. You want connection here and here. If it feels tight there and loose there, you won't have good back pressure. If it feels good there and loose there, you're going to lose your wrist. Okay. You need balance between these pressures here. Yep. If one is tighter than the other, warning bells should be going off. Okay. So it's really important that as the strap is about to be tightened, you double check your pronation is fully loaded in your wrist, And look, nothing wrong with relaxing your wrist right now. As they're about to tighten, relax your wrist and cup even more. Now, if you actively cup, referee's going to feel it. But if you leave your hand exactly where it is and move your arm instead of your hand, so leave your hand where it is, move this bone, radius and ulnar, move it towards your opponent. As the strap gets tightened, you can see now the cup that I've been locked into.
Yeah.
It's mega. So I'm way past, which means I got good control, great back pressure. Also, I'm locked into my pronation. And now, if I stay down here, you'll never feel the threat. Like you grip up how you would. A lot of people will feel reasonably comfortable against that.
That feels pretty good for me, yeah.
Feels good for you, and this is the thing. It's an illusion that it's good because I'm not showing you any threat. Like if I stand back up to the point of my arm and go to start up here, now all of a sudden it feels horrible for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Feels like you've lost your wrist. So when you're strapped down here, you're hiding your true amount of threat from your opponent because you're underneath, but your pronation is locked. So you can choose. Right now, if I stand up and start bullying you, often this guy won't start the match. But if you stay just on the safe side of bullying him, you know that he'll start the match and you've got all this loaded. So once the go happens, it's pretty obvious what needs to go on from here. As we said before, we're not going to use bicep. This is predominantly a cup,
And drag.
chop, drag as the biggest offense. So all I'm trying to do is separate you. You're going to have huge back pressure with this strap style and this technique. And you're going to get someone's wrist. And from over here, unless this guy's like a Danny Tesh, has this huge dead wrist and jams their shoulder, then you're going to get a lot of free flash pins just taking someone's hand, because this is going to crush people's hands. So again, cup, chop, drag, so back pressure with both lats, bicep, and the rear of the shoulder. And then once you've got that hand control secured, you'll feel how easy the pin is for it to go through. So guys, that's pretty much the way I've been low hand top rolling. That's pretty much what I look for in the strap. It's a super strong connected feeling when you find it, and honestly you'll beat people that are so much stronger than you if you can achieve this strap, because they won't know the threat's there. And on that ready go, and you just load that pronation or connect with that pronation, connect with that cup and chop, it really does take their hand away from them. But the vulnerabilities to this is if someone does have a hugely strong wrist rise, let's say you've really strong in your strapping and I'm up here, I might lose my hand this way, so you might get me over there. Yep. So again, but that's the reason we protect against that, or how we protect against that, is by getting that super deep grip. Okay, don't worry about being deep. Often it feels like against hookers it's scary going deep. This is great going deep. Just get in there and just go piss off, hooker.
Yeah.
Chris Goey, that one's for you, man. That's exactly what I'm going to do to you, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.